So the next option, I was like, okay, I'll go kill her. Yeah.
You'd been pushed that far. So you got a knife out the drawer.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey guys.
So welcome back to Primrose's childhood story. This is part 5 of the story, and Primrose has arrived from the UK, and she's from Zimbabwe. She's arrived in the UK, and now she thinks that she's going to be with her sister and everything's going to be great. So we're going to start from there, and we spoke about how she arrived, the environment that she arrived into. Now we're going to talk about what kind of abuse took place at the hands of her sister once her mum had left.
Mm-hmm.
And what the living arrangement was like when she was with her sister and her sister's 3 kids.
Yeah.
So, can you elaborate on what kind of abuse was taking place at the time?
Yeah, so the abuse became more apparent about a year after I got to the UK. So like I mentioned before, that my sister was drinking a lot. So the more she started drinking and the more she got into that sort of like lifestyle of drinking every single day and just collapsing after drinking a whole bottle of wine, whatever it is, it became more difficult because she is like, there's different drunks, right? There's people who get really jolly when they're drunk, and there's people who get violent when they're drunk, and she gets verbally abusive when she's drunk. Like, she used to get so abusive and just sort of like be belittling, and when I say this used to literally happen every single night. So she would be saying things like, oh, you know, if it wasn't for me, you'll still be back home in Zimbabwe with mom. You need to be grateful for what I've done for you. You are not grateful. And I'll be thinking, how am I not grateful?
So she'd give you a lot of abuse, mental abuse in that
Yeah,
way.
exactly. And you'd just be sort of like, oh, you could still be at home with mom at the moment. You're lucky I don't hate you. You could still be at home with mom, who will be beating you up every day. And I'll be thinking...
And you did nothing to deserve her saying this stuff to you?
No, it was just like
basically, she was picking on you.
Yeah, she needed to vent on someone. Then some nights we would just be like, going back to her childhood, what she suffered. This was like what mom was like to me.
Yeah.
This is the stuff that she did. And I think most of the drinking was because to escape the suffering
that she thought she had suffered as well.
Yeah,
or she had suffered.
She had suffered. Yeah, it's just like she was tormenting herself, and the alcohol, she used to drink it to make herself feel better, but then it just brought a nasty side to her. So then this would happen. Like she was like my mom. She couldn't sleep, so she would start. The kids used to go to bed about 7 o'clock at night in the evening, and you'd be like, Prim, and then she'd start going on and on till 2, 3 in the morning. I'd just stand there like listening to her, and then she could see that half the time you just become disinterested in what she's got to say, and then that you get her mad, like, oh, you don't even care about what I'm saying. And it's like, I've been listening to the same story for the last 6 months, like repeating every single thing. And then she'll be thinking, okay, fine, you don't care how I've suffered. You were lucky that you're here. You're not suffering like that. And it was just the most.
And you're obviously studying at the time. Where you were bringing up the kids for her, basically, weren't you?
Yeah.
She was always drunk.
Exactly. So she would just sit on the couch or on the floor and just be drinking and get into like a stupor out of being drunk. So the kids, I'll go and pick up the kids from school. I'll get them back to school, cook for them.
Would you bathe them and everything?
Yeah, everything. Make them dinner.
You were doing what a mother would do.
Yeah. And she would just be sitting there getting pissed. Like, make them their food, wash up with them. We used to like wash up together. That was one thing that we used to do together. So we'd wash up, and then I'll take them to sleep to go to bed. And then as soon as they got to bed, it'd be like...
She'd start abusing you.
Yeah. She doesn't want to be by herself. She needs to have someone. She's still the same now, isn't it? She can't be by herself. She needs to have company. Yeah. Even if it's bad company, she'd rather have company.
Bad company,
yeah, than no company. Whereas I'm completely different. I'd rather have no company at all. I'm very happy by myself. So then, if she feels like she's not being heard, that's when she like starts smashing plates and like get angry. And
so she'd get angry, smash plates.
Yeah, and just like start shouting. So the next door neighbors used to call the social services, and so the social services, which like would come to the house and say, "Oh, we heard that there's shouting and that the kids are not being taken care of properly. What's happening?"
Yeah.
And my sister she's very good at manipulating. She's like master manipulator.
Okay.
So the the social services would come to the house and they'll ask me, "Oh, how is it? Are you happy? Is anything going on?"
Oh, okay.
And you'll be thinking, how can I say something bad is happening when my sister is sitting right here? And they'll come and she'll be like so sweet, like, "Oh, can I get you a cup of tea? Oh, you know, the neighbors, they might just hate me. They don't like me. I think they're just jealous of me."
That's the way. So she'd be very manipulative.
Yeah.
With everything.
And like be really sweet and everything. And that the social services used to fall for it all the time. All the time they'll fall for it. So once they're gone, she'll be like, "Right, who called the social services?" And obviously, like, sometimes they'll tell it was the next door neighbors because they
So she'd go around there and start fighting with them, would she?
Yeah, she would like, "You stop calling the social services, how dare you?" And it was just like an environment where it was just
Mayhem,
complete dysfunctional.
Very dysfunctional, yeah.
Completely. And I was just like, you know, there was no one really there to listen to you because you just felt no one can hear what you have to say. The social services will come in and they'll just fall for my sister's nonsense and they'll never really look past like what's actually going on because there was no physical abuse most of the times. I mean,
mental.
Yeah, it was mental abuse. And that's what I was saying to Jazz. Sometimes mental abuse is far worse than physical abuse. When my mum used to physically abuse me, in the end, I sort of like thought, you know what, I actually preferred physical abuse.
So did you not contact your mum and let her know what was going on any time during that period that you were with your sister?
No,
you didn't think that. But did you want to go home, or were you?
Yeah, I actually told my sister that I want to go home back to my mum.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, because
so you were actually willing to go back to a physically abusive parent.
Like so much more.
Wow.
Because I'd learned how to cope and to deal with physical abuse. And even though my mum was sort of like mental abuse, it wasn't like to a point where she was just like completely breaking you down. My mum would just beat you freaking half to death.
Yeah.
And my sister didn't really beat you. She was just like would
mentally
grind at you until you just feel.
So this would happen on days when you had to go to school as well, early in the morning.
Yeah.
You'd have to get the kids ready for school.
Yeah. I'd go to bed.
You'd be ironing, you'd be cleaning, you'd be doing everything that she should have been doing.
Yeah. So she'll be like, "Okay, can you make sure that you do the kids' homework with them?" So I'll do the kids' homework with them.
Okay.
And then at the weekend, her kids will go out to play and, you know, outside with the other kids. And she'll be like, "Oh no, Prim, you need to come and you need to wash the clothes." And then there'll be like a basket full, like a huge basket full. It'll take me like the whole day to iron.
So if you had school friends, you would just say, "I can't come out," you'd make excuses?
Yeah, my school friends would be like, "Oh, you know, we're going to the mall and stuff like that. Do you want to come?" And I'll be like, "Oh no, I can't come because whatever it is." I always made excuses. And that sort of like created a distance with people from school. There was never really any relationship that were sort of like, there was never any depth to it. Because it was just like, "Oh, I see you at school," but that was it. Whereas most of my friends would go out and they'll go to the mall.
Socialise.
Yeah, or go to the cinema.
Yeah, what kids do.
Yeah, do that sort of stuff.
Go to McDonald's and eat a burger.
That's it together, right?
Just chill out and go home, yeah.
Whereas I'll be like, straight after school, I'll be like, "Okay, my school finishes at 3:10. By 3:15, I need to get to the kids' school, her kids' school, to pick them up, take them home,
sort
walk
their
them.
food out.
Yeah, and get home, do homework with them." So it was like consistent. There was no like, "Oh, I need 2 minutes to myself to do my homework." My homework completely suffered because I just never had time for myself.
So you didn't focus on yourself?
No.
And the school that you went to, you had a scholarship for running, isn't it?
Yeah, I used to go there for a scholarship. And like I said, when I moved to the UK, the education system in Zimbabwe was really good, that I was advanced education-wise than the British kids. But soon they got past me because, I never had time to study. My homework, I'll do my homework on the bus ride to school, quickly do my homework.
Yeah.
And the teachers there, I was really lucky that the teachers really liked me, so they were never really
mean to you in that way.
Yeah, they were never too hard on
you. So you used to run a lot, and you were like always, nationally you were always number 1 or 2 in your cross country. And your long distance running.
I used to do like loads of running and stuff like that, and I was very talented in it. But
your sister never showed up, you were saying?
She never used to come and watch none of it. And then the teachers would be like, why
so
isn't
good,
your
yeah.
family here? Like, if
Yeah.
you were my child, I'd be so proud of you.
You right? So basically, she wouldn't show up at all.
No.
But she was like that with all the kids, wasn't she? She never really gave a.
No,
She
that's
never really
exactly.
cared about any of them, really.
No.
If they were doing anything academically.
Yeah,
Because she was busy getting drunk and going out at night.
exactly. Like, all my sister's kids, everybody in the family was really talented. Like, a lot. They used to be a group, people in the UK would know S Club 7, and I mean people in the America as well would know S Club 7. So her daughter used to be in S Club 7, and this was before they got famous. So before a group gets famous or released out onto the public domain, they get groomed, so they know how to talk to the press, they know how to act, they know how to dress, and then
So she was the lead singer of S Club 7, basically.
Yeah. So she was the lead singer. I mean, if you watched our wedding video, she was the girl at the end who was singing, and she's got an amazing voice. She's got a really amazing voice. So she was in S Club 7 because she got a scholarship to go to a school that loads of famous people went to here in the UK. Like, loads of famous went to. Amy Winehouse went there. There's so many people that used to go there because it was
singers,
like, because she had so much talent. So she won a scholarship to go to that school.
Got
and then
scouted.
then she got into S Club 7. And again, because the home we were growing up in
was so bad.
was so dysfunctional that my niece ended up getting sort of like, I don't know, like, I don't care attitude, and the group dropped her because they just thought, you might be good at singing, but there's no one really here to support you. There's no family structure. There's nothing.
Yeah, you could destroy the group later, so before we come out in the public domain, let's just get rid of you now and get a new...
Exactly.
Because she's
very good.
because of her mum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of your sister.
Yeah, exactly. And even my nephew, he was good at football. He got scouted into football, and the same thing happened. He ended up like dropping out of it.
Because he had no support.
Yeah, and the same as me, I was really good at running, and there was a really bright future there running and stuff like that. But because there was no support there, instead of like putting my effort into my future, my efforts were into making sure that the kids, my nieces and nephews, were okay at home. And I think it's really sad because when you're going through sort of like child abuse, I think people don't see how the oldest child almost sort of like becomes the substitute
Mother,
for a parent.
Yeah, parent.
Yeah, your childhood is gone.
So your childhood, you never had a childhood, basically.
No.
Even up till then, it was completely ruined.
It was completely ruined, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I remember telling my sister that, like, look, I really want to go home, so can you buy me a ticket so I can go back home to Zimbabwe? And she got so mad. How dare you? You're so ungrateful, I just thought I'd rather go home
and get battered
and get beaten up because, like I said, with physical abuse, you can't show any marks. There's no physical evidence. Like, look, this is what you're doing
abuse,
to my brain. I mean, there's so much anyone can stand there and be taken. You are ugly. You are so skinny. You are a piece of shit. You are this. You are that.
So she would do that all the time.
Every night, it was exactly the same. You think you're that. If it wasn't for me, you know what? Because my mum gave a legal guardianship of me, and she deliberately didn't fill out the immigration papers so that
you wouldn't have any status, basically.
Yeah, so that I would be her kid, sort of thing. So she didn't fill it in. So
you
she
wouldn't
would
have
use
freedom.
it.
She didn't want you to get that freedom from her either.
Yeah. And she'd be like, oh, I can call the immigration and the immigration can come and deport you and things like that. I don't know why she didn't let her, actually, because I wanted to go home anyway. So that was one thing she would always torture me about. You are an illegal immigrant. You can just get deported like that. I can just make one telephone call and you can go home. And I was just like, she built a fear over that whole illegal immigrant thing.
Yeah, she basically saying, I've got you by the short curlies, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
that I can drop you at any moment.
That's it. Exactly.
Wow. And it's mental abuse now for you as a child.
It was awful.
So what was it like when she was going clubbing? Was she, she'd go out partying and drinking, obviously. She was going out with these women that were obviously of low character.
Yeah.
And then there was different men coming to the house, or?
Yeah. So like that was one thing that was completely new to me, because my mom, like I said, she was very religious. There was never any man coming to the house. There was like completely clean home. And then all of a sudden they'll be like, you'd wake up on a Saturday night and there'll be a different guy there, and you'd be like, okay, hello. And then
so it made you feel more rotten.
Yeah, it was just like a complete revolving door of different men, and it was just like, this is not what I was brought up
it's so dysfunctional,
to see.
Yeah. From a religious background, you were being brought up in, regardless of the physical abuse.
Yeah.
You were being brought up in basically the gutter. The gutter mentality. You've gone to a gutter mentality.
It was awful. Yeah.
So did she ever drag you out?
So when her friends, so she'll drink, and then like I said, she'll get verbal. She gets really what do you call it? Paranoid. That, why are you looking at me like that for?
Okay.
What are you thinking about me? And I'm like, I'm not even looking at me. So she'll get paranoid and then start fights with people. Yeah. So with her friends, the same thing used to happen.
Oh, okay.
So she would fight with the friends that she has, and they would fall out.
So she had
and
no
then
friends at
she's
that
got
point.
no friends to go out with. And it'd be like, oh, Prim, you need to get dressed and you need to come out with me because I need a man. And so I'm like, about 15 years old, I'd have to get dressed up, get tarted up.
She'd make you get tarted up.
Yeah.
To take you to a club.
Yeah. And so we would go clubbing, and then obviously I'll be there, and like men would be trying to...
So you don't want to be there, you've got school in the morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, grown men are trying to hit on me because I'm in a nightclub with my sister, so obviously I must be...
On the game is...
Exactly.
Like, is, yeah. Or up, yeah.
So yeah. And then she'd be like, oh no, just talk to them. You don't have to do anything, just talk to them because I need to go and speak to this guy. And I'll be standing there in the corner like... Oh my
God, that's disgraceful.
Like, are you serious?
You're an underage child, basically.
Yeah. I hate go clubbing.
Yeah, you hate that. I can vouch for that. Primrose doesn't go out to nightclubs or bars at all. She just doesn't like it.
Yeah. I hate it. And so like every single weekend, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we'll be out clubbing. And, that's what's it. We'll put the kids to sleep, so there'll be no one looking after the kids. And just leave the kids sleeping, and we go clubbing and hope for the best.
So basically, but you had no choice.
Of course, yeah.
What you're saying is she would mentally destroy you that you had to go with her. And,
of course, yeah.
And that's all. And
you are coming with me.
You had no choice.
Yeah. So, or put this skimpy outfit on, and I'll be like, wow.
Amazing.
If mum had seen me like that, so...
She would have killed your sister, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Wow.
So that's what I'm like saying. The abuse being verbal,
and what she was making you go through, basically, yeah.
Because you're expecting a child to act out of their age. Do you know what I mean? I'm not supposed to be in an environment where people are getting drunk, where people are like approaching me in a sexual way. Do you know what I mean? They're not approaching me because they want to be my friend. They want to.
Well, when you're in a club,
one night stand.
As a female, when you're in a club, guys are going to come up to you thinking that they can probably either snap you up that night or get your number so they can. Take you out.
Yeah.
And you're a child, you were 15.
Yeah.
So your sister put you in that environment.
Of course, yeah. And she didn't care. It was just like complete manipulation. I'd be like, I don't like going couple clubbing. And then she'd be like, oh, you are so selfish.
Wow.
I am alone. I just want to go and find a man so I can have someone. And you are just thinking about yourself. You are coming. And I'm just like...
Wow, really? Oh my God.
So, then you get lucky and then she gets a boyfriend. So she can have a boyfriend, for about 3 months or so. That was usually like about the length span of a relationship.
Before he realised she was crazy.
Yeah. Because she was very jealous, and so she would just be like, oh, you're looking at this girl, and you just like kick off.
Wow.
So us kids would have a break for about 3 months where she's, with her boyfriend, going out to dinners, going out, and me and the kids would be like, yes, we got the house to ourselves because she'd be out. And then towards the end of the relationship, she'd be home fighting with him until he goes away, and then a new man comes in.
Oh, you have to start again.
Yeah, so it was completely
dysfunctional is the word, isn't it?
It was madness.
So seriously, what was your worst memory? Like, was there any other memories in that time that you were with your sister that really affected you?
Like there was so many memories, but like the final memory that I remember when I thought, you know what, this has to end, was one night something really bad happened, which I'm not even going to go into detail about what happened.
With your sister did something really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
what happened to her when she...
Obviously I was there. And
yeah.
And then I just remember
So do you want to carry on with this story or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. Yeah, so I just remember like after that incident, I thought to myself, you know what? This is gonna carry on like this forever.
She's never gonna stop. Yeah.
This is never gonna change, and you can see like I mean, I'm sure we've all seen where dysfunctional people just spiral and spiral out of control, and you just think like, when is this spiral ever gonna end? It never really stops until something really bad happens, right? Either someone ends up in prison, which is what happened. My sister ended up going to prison for the incident that took place that night. And so I remember after that incident, because obviously the justice system takes a long time for someone to actually go to prison, but I remember thinking, you know what? Either I have two choices, because the social services come over and
they want to take the kids away, don't they?
Yeah, no, at that time,
No?
the social services used to come over and they would just fall for my sister's sweetness and never actually help. So I know that I can go to them.
Yeah.
So I don't actually really have a choice. The choice is either I kill myself and we'll just end it there. So I remember she used to get like loads of sleeping pills. Like I said, she couldn't sleep. Either she needed to drink loads of alcohol and then she'll like pass out and sleep. Or she'll take loads of sleeping pills, but like with sleeping pills, like towards the end of them, they stop working, so because they're not that strong. So then you need to up the dosage. So I just thought, okay, so I went and got her a bottle of sleeping pills, and I went in the bathroom.
So you thought, I'm going to overdose on these and kill myself, basically?
Yeah.
You thought you were going to end it?
Yeah.
Because you've had enough by then?
Yeah.
So what happened next?
Yeah,
So did you do it?
No.
Did you attempt it?
Yeah, well, so I took the sleeping pills and it was like a whole bottle, and I thought, you know what, that's a perfect way to die. Just take these pills.
So the straw had broke the camel's back, basically, for you, innit?
Yeah.
It was too much. You couldn't take anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. So you thought, yeah, take the pills and then you go to sleep, and then you just never wake up, and it's just like.
And that'll be it.
And so I sat there for ages. I was like, okay, just do it, and I just couldn't do it. I don't know why. I just couldn't do it. And so yeah, I couldn't take the pills. And then I thought, okay, fine. You know, and that day, I just thought, you know what, people who commit suicide, they have some courage, because
it's not easy to take your own life,
it's not. It's really not.
Or they must be in so much pain, innit?
I mean, I was in so much pain, and I just even couldn't do that.
I remember a couple of weeks ago, remember when we saw a guy on the bridge?
Yeah.
And there was loads of police cars, and he was trying to jump off the bridge in an area called Kingston into the river. And I said, oh, look at that idiot. Yeah. And she turned around and said to me, look, babe, don't say that, because you don't know how much suffering he's gone through to stand there and want to take his own life.
Yeah.
And then I knew straight away what she meant, because I know her story, so I thought, yeah, you're right, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Because that's the way people react. Like,
yeah.
What's he doing? Look at all the police, look at all the ambulance.
Exactly, it's just an attention
you don't know
seeker.
You don't know what that person's been through, and it is right.
No, you don't.
So then what did you do then? Once you thought about
so I
taking your life?
decided, you know, like, I can't do this.
So someone has to go.
Yeah.
Either
so
me or her.
Either my sister or me have to go.
So you thought about taking your own life?
Yeah. So I thought, okay. So I went downstairs into the kitchen and I got a knife. So the next option I was like, okay, I'll go kill her.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd been pushed that far. So you got a knife out the drawer.
Yeah. So I went, and she was sleeping on the bed, like completely passed out because she'd been drinking all night.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I had this knife. I was standing over her, and I thought, just a couple of stabs, and that's it. Your pain is over.
Yeah.
Because I thought, you know what? Even I knew I'd go to prison for it.
So you were thinking irrationally at that point?
Yeah, but I was still thinking. I was thinking, you know what? Even if I went to prison for this,
it still
would be better than what I've got now. prison would be freaking heaven compared to this. So then I was thinking, no, you know, she's got kids, and you don't have the right to take their mother away. Like, it doesn't matter how bad she is, you can't take someone's mom away. So I thought, okay. So I put the knife on the bed, on the dressing table thing. I left.
And you just left. Oh, what do you mean? You ran away from home? So then that was when you ran away, and you were 16 at the time. So at that point, we're going to end it now. So as Primrose said, that was quite traumatic for her, and that was really probably the lowest point in her life. So she ran away from home, and that's where we're going to pick it up in the next part. So Prim basically left home. So you were all alone, she had no money, she's just gone. So in the next part, that's what where we'll start from. And yeah, we'll see you in the next part. With this video, give it a thumbs up, please subscribe and keep following the series, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye guys.